Hello and welcome to this information video about the role and responsibilities of the head teacher or principal in the early career teacher induction process. My name is David Higginbottom and I'm the early career teacher lead here at HISP Teaching School Hub. So as the head teacher or the principal, your roles and responsibilities during the early career teacher induction process are as follows. Firstly, you are required to check that each early career teacher has been awarded QTS and clarify whether the teacher needs to serve an induction period or whether they might be exempt. You should agree in advance of each early career teacher starting the induction programme which body will act as the appropriate body or AB. You should notify the appropriate body when an early career teacher is taking up a post in which they will be undertaking induction and ensure that the requirements for a suitable post for induction are met. You should ensure that both the induction tutor and the selected mentor have the ability and also sufficient time to carry out their role effectively. You should ensure that an appropriate early career framework-based induction programme is in place. You should ensure that the early career teacher's progress is reviewed regularly, including through observations of and feedback of their teaching, whilst also ensuring that assessments are carried out and reports are completed and then sent to the appropriate body. You should maintain and retain accurate records of employment that will count towards the early career teacher's induction period and ensure that all monitoring and record keeping is done in a streamlined and least burdensome way. There may also be circumstances where the head teacher or the principal is expected to do the following: to make the governing body aware of the arrangements that have been put in place to support early career teachers serving induction, to make a recommendation to the appropriate body on whether each early careers teacher's performance against the teacher's standards is satisfactory or if that requires an extension. You should participate appropriately in the appropriate body's quality assurance procedures. You are required to retain all relevant documentation and evidence and forms on file for 6 years. You might have to obtain interim assessment form from an ECT's previous post if they are joining you from another institution. You should also act as early as possible, alerting the appropriate body where necessary in any cases where an early career teacher may be at risk of not completing their induction satisfactorily. You should ensure that third-party observations of an early career teacher who may be at risk of not performing satisfactorily against the teaching standards. You should notify the appropriate body as soon as an early careers teacher's absences totals 30 days or more. You may also be required to periodically inform the governing body about your institution's induction arrangements. You may be required to advise and agree with the AB where, in exceptional cases, it may be appropriate to reduce the length of the induction period or deem that it has been satisfactorily completed. You may be required to consult with the appropriate body in cases where a part-time early career teacher has completed a period covering but not equivalent to 2 school years and has met the necessary requirements to reduce their induction period. You may be required to provide interim assessment reports for staff moving school in between the 2 formal assessment periods. These 2 formal assessment periods are usually at the end of term 3 and at the end of term 6. Finally, you may be required to notify the appropriate body where an ECT serving induction leaves your institution. Please note that head teachers and principals of further education institutions, independent schools, academies and preschools, British schools overseas and nursery schools should also ensure that an early career teacher's posts and responsibilities comply with the specific requirements for the statutory induction within these settings. Should you have any questions or queries about your roles and responsibilities in the Early Career Teacher induction process, then please do get in touch with a member of the team here at HISP Teaching School Hub. Thank you very much for listening.